Right. Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's day is going well so far. I know it's super early. So, with that being said, I am Darkpole Alga, and thanks for joining me on another watch list building session. It is Monday, December 20th, 2021, and where did the year go? It's the end of the year already. I can't believe it. The year just slipped away, and it's the end of the year. So hopefully it's the beginning of the old Santa Claus rally, which is what I think everybody is super interested in. For that to happen, right, we've got to pull back a little bit on the old futures. We wouldn't want to give up the whole move overnight, right? There we go. We're signing to there. We're signing to there. And I think we are good to go. So, if you are new to the stream, welcome. I am Dark Polago. I'm a trader. I keep boxing myself into a corner, but I'm a trader. I like to look for divergences between price action and smart money. Also looking at some very specific plays going into this week. This generalized structure of the stream this morning is we're going to look at some news. We're going to look at some possible earnings results. We're going to be checking in on the smart money, dark pool, and block trade algorithm software from FlowTrade. We're going to be looking at our focus list, which includes the top 6 stocks that we want to look at every week. And we're going to try to find some very specific beast numbers. So if you don't know what the beast numbers are, they are predictive best value available for an options price. They usually, you won't get a better options entry than those prices. They come with very specific entries and exits, and they'll usually change your account within the first week. So hopefully we can get a couple of those looked at. And yeah, I think that's it. I want to go ahead and just look at a couple things here real quick. Oh. Holy cow. Dang, dude, there's some big old moves this week. All right. VIX is down. What else is going on? All right, lots of stuff. Tesla's down. So this is the futures. This is your future. Haha. No, I'm just kidding. So gap down, right? We gap down overnight. We're trying to recover that gap. Right, nice little gap down to support. Trying to recover that gap. We're coming up into a supply zone here. If we can break that supply zone, I think we can continue on to the upside. There'll be some panic selling at the open just because there was such a gap down, but we know what to do because we look at the overall market and we understand that if bonds are down, even though bonds might be doing a little Wu-Tang right now, if bonds are down, crude's down, right, gold's down, the yen's down, that's good for the overall market. So I'm really going to be focused on possibly small caps. It's funny that the small caps are going to start leading the way now that we've made our focus list on the large caps, but it just is what it is. We can't keep chasing. If you're like a dog chasing your tail, you're never going to catch it. So we'll take this time to get prepared for when rotation comes back into large caps. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and say good morning to Laz, Terry, and Johnny. Thanks for showing up. Y'all support me every single day, and I truly appreciate it. 2022 is going to be a great year. Make sure that y'all are in the Discord. Okay. Hopefully, I know Johnny, I sent you the link. I just want to make sure that you're able to get in. I think I saw you in there the other day. I think I might have saw you in there. If not, and you have any issues, let me know. All right. What is that? What? Oh my God, dude, Laz, you're hilarious. I just saw your post about Florida. All right, don't you live in Florida? Is that you? You eat gator meat, buddy? All right, let's hop into it real quick with the news. So over the weekend, I'm gonna leave the futures up here while I go through the news. If something is important, I'll pop it up. Y'all go ahead and get the whatever you're interested in looking at today. If you've got some personal stock recommendations, pop them in there. We'll get some FlowTrade review here in a moment. But let's get through this news, okay? Sony Spider-Man No Way Home. Psh, girl, oh my god, that movie was so cool. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but just know that there was it was just pretty dang good. It was a great movie. I'm probably gonna go see it again today, and then maybe it's even gonna get tomorrow. Anyway, that was pretty decent. More importantly, though, in other news, Walt Disney and Google reached a deal over the weekend that returned the entertainment group's sports and movie channels to YouTube, following a dispute over carriage fees. So that's good for the old Disney and the Google rack, right? So Disney's probably going to get a little bit of a bump off of that, right? Everything's sold off. Just know everything fell. However, for our bottom support held for Disney, we might get a move back up into the 140, 150 level, potentially up to 152. Pretty decent news, as long as this 4-hour bottom holds at 146.50-ish. So it would be the 1, 2, 3, 4 Wu-Tang move that we want to see happen all the time. If we could play one move for the rest of our trading career, this would be that move, right? Break above that for the woot. Okay, that's the move we're looking to happen on Diz, the old Disney. And then Google, we will get into Google here in a little while. This week daily bottom, if this daily bottom holds, right? This was a $50 candle, by the way, 4-hour mid, or 4-hour bottom to 4-hour mid. That's a $50 candle. Well, it gave it all back. Currently trading down around 2,800. Is that holding it? Yeah, 2,800 is holding us. I'm going to look at some specific plays. I think that Google has the ability to move. I do want to look at, don't let me forget to look at my Thinkorswim charts for squeezes, okay? Moving on, Bluebird Bio said the FDA has accepted for priority review its license application for its drug, the company's gene therapy for cerebral adrenoleukodystrophy, whatever that means. So a little biotech, ultra small cap, if you wanted to play. We've got falling MACD. We've got Ready and Fire getting ready to slingshot release. This 4-hour breaks here, look for a move back down to the weekly, 4-hour mid, or possibly previous support. There's a zone right here, right there. There's that zone back down to 980. Maybe a larger move to the upside. Didn't really get a chance to let this news react. This is the market drop here, but they did come out and say that the FDA has accepted for priority review its application for licensing its drug. Okay, pretty decent news there. Biogene, BGNE did come to a collaborative agreement with Novartis. Yay, hey, right? Massive drop last week, down to 230, all the way back up to almost 300. So if BGNE, right, with its $27 ATR can get above, we'll get out of the daily cloud, above the 4-hour cloud into the monthly mid, so above 295, it's going to smack into 300 psychological level. Above 300, it hits 320, and then 340, right? Look at this low compression, mid compression, high compression squeeze that released early this morning. That's going to get us through this overhead resistance. Ready and fired off, and our MACD is doing MACD things. Wish I could figure out how to get that to line up a little bit better. I think I gotta go this way with it. All right. Let's see. Can I move the MACD? Oh, I can. Look at that. Look at there. Let's just move the MACD up to the center line. All right. Decreasing, increasing. Nice move to the upside. I don't have two lines on it, so no crossover. Everybody asked me about what's going on with this lower indicator here. It's the Ready and Fire Pro and a custom MACD indicator. It's slow stochastic and a MACD, right? I like mixing things up and seeing what I can do. I think I threw a MACD over on top of the squeeze one day too as well. Anyway, I need a drink. I already went through my rain this morning. Went through the rain. All right, that's Biogen. Novartis might actually get some news off of that as well. I know that they were having a little bit of an issue. Right, nice little rally. Came back, tapped the daily top, 4-hour mid. If this can go, it can go. Right, Novartis moves about what, $2 a day. Right, it's already made that move overnight from 86 to 84. Look to move back to 86. You got the month, it smacked into the monthly mid at 86. What is this level here? 86.76. If it can crack that, it's going to hit 89. That's Novartis. It might be a little early on this one. Definitely setting up for a slingshot. All right, moving on. Moderna said that its third dose of COVID vaccine increased immune responses against the variant. Omicron, it's in trifecta mode. It's a momentum play. Any pullback is a dip buy opportunity in Moderna. Right, maybe a little overextended, but hey, this stock likes to move. It's got room to the monthly cloud top at, what's that, 334, which is also the daily bottom, and coming into the weekly mid. So pullback move is what we're looking for. So we'd like Moderna to give us an entry. I'd love to see it down here. Right, love to see it give us that entry there, something along those lines. I don't have specific levels. I just didn't trade Moderna enough to really look at getting that as one of our focus lists, so I should have, but oh well, what can you do? All right, Sun Companies. I don't even know why I have this on there. Sun Companies files prospective supplement relating to offering up to 1.25 billion shares of common stock. What kind of wall did they hit? They hit the 4-hour top wall at 202, 203, $8 a day. It's already coming back down. If this level here holds, I don't know, it might be at trendline support. Let's see. Let us see, shall we? We start one there and run it all the way out here like this. It tapped it, so this may be the recovery point. If you play Sun, oh, SUI, SUI, SUI. It can move, right? 198 to 2, let's see, it moves $5 a day. Yeah, there's an opportunity there. Moving on. All right, cruise line operators. So this is where the rotation may surprise people, right? Carnival, Norwegian, Royal, they all fall ahead of the Carnival Cruise Line's earnings, which is, how come I have earnings on here? Interesting. Hold on. When's their earnings? Dude, their earnings aren't even until next year. What? They can't even say that. Anyway, Carnival Cruise Lines, Norwegian Cruise Lines, and RCL all fall ahead of earnings. Basically, at least 44 people on RCL's board. RCL's Symphony of the Seas ship that ended 7-day cruise in Miami on Saturday were positive for code during sailing. I mean, come on. These poor little cruise lines have been beaten. They've been beaten down. They have taken a beating. So last week the rotation was into them, right? Or was it the week before? I think it was the week before. Yeah, so the first week of December, rotation into these cruise lines, these travel stocks, right? They consolidated, and then last week they fell off a cliff. Well, they didn't fall off a cliff. They just retraced back down to some support levels, mainly the weekly bottom. So with RCL, if it, let's see. So bad news came out. It cracked. It came back down to the weekly bottom support. It's going to try to get back to the 4-hour mid, daily mid, 4-hour top, right? It's about a $5 move setting up. Contrarian at this weekly level holds, right? Breaks, $70 level breaks. Then we come back down to like 68, right? Test the lows again. If you want to play it, go ahead. All right, Walgreens Boot Alliance, right? Files for debt security shelf. This is gonna take a little bit bigger move. This 4-hour is pointed down, so it could crack the weekly mid, 4-hour bottom, potentially back down to the daily, right? So if it falls out of the 4-hour bottom, it's coming to the daily mid and then possibly down to the daily bottom. Contrarian, see how it kissed it over here? It could kiss it and then move back up into the daily cloud. Regardless, it's only about a $3 move. The stock only moves about $2 a day. But the options are decent on it. Okay. NEO. Oh, NEO came out over the weekend. It held its annual NEO Day on Saturday. The Chinese EV startup unveiled the ET5 starting at about 50 grand. It's got longer battery life than the Tesla competitor. Same 0 to 60 on the lower end. Doesn't really have a performance mode or performance model, but it does have that interchangeable battery that saves you about 10 grand because you can just swap it out. So the maintenance on it's about $105 a month. It's a pretty decent looking ride. That's going to be the Tesla competitor right there, right? Have a base range of 341 miles, rising to as much as 620 miles in an EV. In an EV sedan, that's pretty big. I think that's the most out there. Albeit it's a very loose standard. The midsize EV sedan has potential competitor against the Tesla Model 3. Xpeng P7 and P5 and the BYD Han. Basically, NEO needed that. So they're currently in the weekly cloud with the daily mid here. I'd look for a back test to the 4-hour top, continuation on up and out of all this mess. I can't believe it got down to 28 and we missed it. So NEO at 28 is extreme value. I don't think we're going to see those levels again, to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to do it. So I'm going to bring this up to a larger time frame chart so that we can get a bigger picture of the overall perspective for NEO and what I'm looking at here. Okay, NEO used to just chill at $50 a share, right? It's been having some issues. I think that NEO Day came out. Don't get me wrong, it's definitely downtrending stock. Is this a recovery that we were looking for? Maybe a little double bottom, inverse head and shoulder action, right? I like where it's at. I'm going to look at NEO a little bit more closely, but I think that this base of support from 29.50, right? The 28, what is that? 28.78 to 29.50, that's your base. This is the move I'd like to see on the NEO, right? It can consolidate here. It can even move up a little bit, right? Take a little bit of profit, but try to get back up and out of this weekly top at 31. Above 31, NEO's going to get woody woo. All right, I like NEO. And let's see. I think that's it for consumer news. Netherlands went into lockdown over the weekend on Sunday, and the possibility of more COVID-19 restrictions ahead of Christmas and New Year holidays loomed over several European countries as the Omicron variant spreads rapidly. Let's check this out, shall we? Look at that V. So inverse head and shoulders. We need this to come back down, set it up for a longer move to the upside. We've got room, right? We definitely have room on the ES. Was this by the F and dip? Could have been. And Q, look at that. We've got room. Right, let's get some legs going here. See how I think the Russell is going to lead it up until this point here. This candle's got me second guessing myself on it. Right, nice little pop. There goes crude. Oh, is that the right one? Hold on, I don't know if I've got the right. Yeah, that's it. Okay. What else we got here? Oh, guess what? Goldman Sachs cut U.S. real GDP forecast for the first quarter of 2022 to 2% versus 3%, and marginally reduced forecast for the second and third quarters. That, compiled with inflation and tapering, going to make for an interesting first half of the year. And guess who caught COVID over the weekend? Elizabeth Warren. Yep. Her and Cory Booker tested positive. Okay, today we have some earnings. Micron, Nike has earnings today. They're saying that. Do you see CCL having earnings on this? I don't see it, but they're saying Carnival has earnings today. I'm not seeing it noted anywhere. Well, regardless, Carnival has earnings this morning. I'm not sure. Let's see what happened. Looks like they. All right, so they dropped off our earnings and they're slowly fighting their way back in. They've got 200 SMA at 1790, 18, and then VWAP up here at 1812. So Carnival Cruise Lines, I would be a player above 1812, right? Move to point of control, and that Darvis box high at 1815. So that's a $1.50 move. You could buy commons in that and make yourself $100, right? Contrarian, we reject this 200 on the 2-minute, and we come back down. Right, we've got the 200 at 1790. Let's just call it 1790. We kissed it once, which is also the 15 mid. Very easily come back down to the 15 bottom at 1750. At 1750, we'll make a decision. Okay. Micron and Nike have earnings after the close. Everything fell off. It's finding its way back up into the 15 cloud. Then get through the 15. Got the VWAP at 8250, and then the 200 SMA at 8260. So basically, Micron above 83 is a pretty decent play. Nike. I've spent so much time on Nike's website this weekend. It was pathetic. It was so bad. I'm looking for Air Force Ones. Tell you what, man. Oh, I should have had one of you all look for those for me. I bet you they're in Miami. Bet you Florida has them. All right, so Nike about a $5 ATR. This is a definitely falling channel. It's trying to get back into the monthly cloud, right? 4-hour bottom, daily bottom, 4-hour mid, moving on up, right? It does have earnings tomorrow, so after the bell, I'm gonna wait till see how the world reacts to those Nike earnings. Okay, moving on. Let's look at this on this chart here. Okay, we've got some additional sector news. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to panic everybody, right? With this news, they're saying that XLE is down 5%. XLY is down 5%, right? But looking at going through the last stocks that we went through, everything was down 5%. So just chill out. XLK, information technology is down 4%. So on XLK, we have to get back up into these 4 hours. If we can't get back into the 4 hours, we do have a larger downside move coming up. So just be aware of that. Let's look at financials, which is XLF. See how XLF fell down to the monthly cloud, daily cloud support. Right. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move. We can get back into this 4 hour, right? We breathe and move up to the weekly 4 hour daily mid at like 38, 39. Okay. All right. So, last of the news, and we're going to get to some plays. Still trying to get this news cut down to about 20 minutes, right? Can you still hit the Air Force Ones, Laz? Text me a little bit, dude. I need to get some for my kid. I'm looking for some high top black. Oh, I need some black and yellow ones. Anyway, U.S. stocks futures are tracking global stock markets lower to start the holiday shortened trading week. Oh yeah, which reminds me, markets closed on Friday, so don't get stuck thinking you have an extra day. Basically, pretend like today's Tuesday. Okay. Major averages looking to open down more than 1%. As Manchin said this weekend, he would not support the 1.75 trillion domestic BBB the bees, the killer bees. No, can't. No. We're not even going to say that about that business. We're not going to even try to cross over with the woo. Hooty hoo. Right, the 1.75 trillion domestic investment bill while growing fears of COVID variant spreading also hurts the sentiment. Right, Manchin said Sunday he can't back his party's signature 2 trillion social and environmental bill. $2 trillion. Let's just print another $1 trillion. Can you conceptualize what $1 trillion is? Do you know how much money that is? Some Palantir news just came through. They announced a partnership with DuPont to use Palantir's Foundry platform to help power efforts to discover treatment and cures for most challenging diseases. All right, Palantir, let's go. Let's get it back up to 20. All right, anyway. Back to the Manchin news. Basically, it could potentially give a fatal blow to Biden's leading domestic initiative heading into an election year. Manchin told Fox News Sunday that after 5.5 months of negotiations among the Democrats, in which he was his party's chief's obstacle to passage, I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. Just can't. Tried everything humanly possible. He can't get there. Meanwhile, oil prices tumbled 3%, with WTI crude dropping to $68 a barrel, while Treasury yields extend last week's losses. Fear and greed, right? They're pushing the VIX, right? That's what that means. They're pushing the VIX. Everybody be afraid. Okay, in Asian markets, the Nikkei index tumbled over 600 points. Not good. Don't be tumbling. Don't slip in the snow and don't tumble. Or 2.13%. The Shanghai dropped 1%. Hang Seng declined 447 points. And in Europe, the DAX is down, right? So we're just red across the board, right? Which is all right, really. We have to be nimble. We have to be quick. We just play the chart in front of you, right? Can we get a rip and rally and roar? Did it give up its move overnight, right? Did it give up what it needed to do to become more stable? Let's keep an eye on it. I'll look at both some upside and some downside plays just in case, okay? And as for last week, the S&P fell 1.9%, the Dow 1.6.8%, and the Nasdaq shed almost 3%. Russell dropped down around 2%, right? That's about a 2% drop. Of course, the S&P closed Friday lowered as defensive healthcare, real estate, utilities, and consumer staples all finished modestly higher for the week. Material sector edged lower, while drops were more pronounced in financials, communication services, industrials, tech, discretionary energy. So they're saying that healthcare, real estate, and utilities, as well as staples, were up going into Friday. I think there may be some rotation out of that. I'm starting to learn to look at things opposite of what the news is posting, right? Let's keep an eye on it, right? Just to make sure, right? We don't want to be biased on anything, but that YM is right at a snow line, and that is pretty significant support. Okay. The higher growth, more economic sensitive sectors were hardest hit amid fears of speed bump from either the Federal Reserve tightening or COVID spreading around the world. Last week, the U.S. dollar index was flat. Gold topped 1,800. Whoop-de-woo. Crude prices slipped to roughly 70. Well, they're below that. They hit 66.70 today, right? Which is good. And the 10-year fell to 1.4%. Sorry, TLT, little snitch. But if you look down here, right? If you look here, there's that Wu-Tang 1, 2, 3 Dow reversal. Got to keep an eye on it. Got to keep your eyes peeled. 6 o'clock bell. We're going to get an influx. Crude's going to run. Bonds are going to run. Might get a little bit of a dump in the indexes, while the lower end of this chart gets a little bit of a pop. That's fine. It can rally for 30 minutes and then fade for the rest of the day. All right, ES is currently at key levels of support. It's actually at previous highs, right? It's setting up for a woo, I believe, right? A little inverse head and shoulders. So 1, 2, 3. If we make a lower high, look for the longer move. Okay, I'm actually liking this. I'm pretty bullish on today. Of course, everything's bloody right now. Okay. That's it for the news, and let's hop into it, shall we? What do we got? You want to look at Verizon and AMD? Absolutely. I'm just assuming everybody watched the weekend videos, so I don't have to regurgitate all of that. Possibly. Dude, Laz, if you can hook it up, there will be a forever place in my heart for you, because we've exhausted our resources trying to find them. I'll reach out to you after the open, probably around noon your time. I'll give you a call. We'll figure it out. All right, moving on. Let's look at Verizon and AMD, shall we? Amd, Verizon and Amd. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the 1 minute or the single chart layout here so that I can explain what's going on to anybody who's new and joining the stream for the first time. What you see in front of you is the smart money dark pool and block trade algorithm software provided by FlowTrade. It tracks large institutional hedge funds purchases, smart money, billion-dollar investments, right? It tracks retail as a group, just like it tracks block trades and dark pool trades. My chart setup is as follows. White bars are price action. The purple line is the regular algorithm line. Blue lines across the screen are dark pool block trades. Red lines are regular block trades. There was a question about what the red line was. And then if I drop a white line on the screen, you better grab your mirror and your $100 bill, y'all. Just kidding. I'm really trying to expand on that joke because I think it's an opportunity to be funny. As long as YouTube doesn't come in and say that I'm being offensive. I've been getting some messages. No, what it really means though is that there's a regular and a dark pool that have printed at the exact same level or close enough that I can't separate them out. I believe that those are major inflection points, and it's always good to put a line up on your screen and say that, white line print, for example, and see how price interacts with it, right? Does it come down and touch it? Does it hold a support, or does it break through it, right? Does it bounce off of it? What does the algo do when it hits that level, right? Well, there's an ambulance going. Index, NASDAQ is holding VWAP. ISK. Okay. So Verizon. What happened? They had earnings, right? So what do we do here? We were chopping back and forth. Chop. We broke previous highs with some conviction, right? The algo was leading the way. Rallied right up into dark pool resistance. Pulled back to dark pool support. We are stepping our way back up. We broke through that dark pool resistance currently. And I think the algo curling up like this might be a higher move to the upside. So if you follow anything Elliott wave driven, I'm going to show you a cool little thing right here real quick. First of all, I want to show, let's get over here. First of all, I want to outline what those regular and dark pool levels are and where they're at, right? So dark pool resistance, right? Support, resistance, and support. Okay. I'm not drawing these all the way across the screen because I don't see anything back here that indicates that these levels have been dark pools before. Okay, let's look at what the algorithm is doing, right? It's currently coming up to previous resistance and it rejected that. However, what that move was is there's the 1, there's the 2, there's the third leg of Elliott wave. This will be the fourth leg. So what we're trying to do is we're going to try to catch this fifth wave move to the upside, which isn't going to be as long as the third, right? But it's a little bit more guaranteed if you believe in wave theory, basically. So price action does have a nice uptrend. Oh, give me the right one, please. I thought we were going to have a software release. It's in the works, trust me. I've been beta testing it. I've been providing feedback on it. It will be coming out soon. Streamlined, it's clean. It's really clean, really easy to use, and I believe you're going to have a better experience. That's with the FlowTrade software. Okay. Hold on, I need a drink. Sorry, I've got my monitor set up over here. I'm just kind of keeping an eye on futures right now. Seeing lots of volume coming in. All right. Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty decent day. Pretty decent. As far as targets go for Verizon, let's look at it from this perspective here, shall we? So point of control's at 54.44. Currently, Verizon is trading pre-market. Yeah, nice little move. I love this setup. It's easy to read. I don't necessarily like... I don't know. I like TrendSpider. I also like TradingView. It's tough. Verizon. This is going into last week. This is a 2-hour chart. Rally, pullback, rally, rally, rally. It's melting its way up. Verizon on the 39, which should be the 15. Sorry. There we go. So rallied up. This chart, if you see me draw a purple line on here, that's the 13 EMA. So I've got 13, 21, 34. I've got Radium Fire down here, and I've got the Squeeze Pro. So Slingshot Squeeze getting ready to release. No 15-minute squeeze. There's probably some higher time frames. 15-minute cloud held, and we've got stack positive moving averages. If we take out previous highs, right, we've got... Right, there's a demand zone. So for me, above 50, 53.25, Verizon can launch. Right, it can get moving pretty good with that slingshot squeeze. You know what I got here? Check it, yo. It's the one we want to look at. Let me get this set up so that I can easily switch back and forth between the two. All right, let's look at VZ, shall we? So what I like is this. We've got green 10x bars from mid to upper time frames. Looks like a 4-day buy signal just fired off. We've got the 4-hour 200 SMA at 53.16, which is where we're at. We're above it. This that's gonna be frustrating. I'm gonna have to figure out how to avoid that. Anyway, so we've got a 60-minute low compression squeeze that should fire off, right, to the upside, and then the 2-day and 3-day that should fire. These yellow histograms can become blue really quickly. So we've got upper end time frame squeezes are going to release. We're trading at about 2 ATR. We've got, what is this thing? Oh, we've got our upper end of our ATR coming in at like 54-ish. Good ADX. We held VWAP. Market makers are expecting about a 1% move. Not super thrilled about this Bollinger Bands, but Verizon's only supposed to move about $1 a day. Possible profit taking, pull back to support, right? That's one way to look at this move on the 4-hour. As far as levels are concerned, if we run with the assumption that, you know, that we take profit here. Let's try this again. Come on, sucker. All right, those are some pretty decent levels there, right? So for Verizon, we crack 53.23. I like the 55s. I like the 55 calls on Verizon. I've got a... You know I've got it, right? You know I've got something for everything. Let me get this pulled up here. And this is one I should just use. I should just use this one. So that's the Verizon. Looking at the Verizon 52s. There we go. Give me the... What I wish I could do is reorganize these so I could get this one over. Hell, I can do that. Look at that. Isn't that fancy? Delta volume. The bid. On the ask. Bid ask delta. Volume. There's just a lot of data on this chart. This is the Moo broker. It's as easy to use as Webull, but it's got some extra features in it that I like. And if you're interested, hit me up. I'll give you a referral link. You get a free share of Lucid plus a whole bunch of intro welcome packs for depositing like $100, right? Free share of Lucid. Like, hey, well, what I'm looking at for Verizon is I like these sorry, where's the bid ask volume turnover change? Oh, there's my volume. It needs to go. Oh, volume's there. I want to go with. Sorry, I want to get this set up because I think it's important to be able to see all of the stuff. Are you serious right now? Why would you turn off? It's frustrating. All right, so Verizon. What did I say with what was our targets? Apologize, I got a little sidetracked there. What, the 55s, 56s, 55, 56, 55, 56, 55, 56, 55, 56. Go on, let's go and find. So look at these suckers right here. These 55s are about 35 cents. If there's any sort of a pullback, right, those 55s can get to be about 10 or 15 cents. Verizon looks pretty good. And go for about a 30% win. Look at the 55s. Those are pretty decent. I don't think we'll get a move to it today. Oh, look at the options date on this, dude. This is 1/14/2022. Those 55 strikes are 35 cents. Money in the bank. Shorty, what you think? Jeez. Let's see. VZ. 114.50 feet. Call our dirt cheap. All right, good one. I like that one. I liked it. Oh, where did I go? Who brought that up? Was that you, Johnny? Good call, Johnny. All right. And then AMD. Let's look at AMD. All right. So AMD came down, touched support, dropped off, rallied up to the 21, pulled back. Doji, slingshot squeeze, getting ready to fire. AMD is currently at the top of this previous demand zone. Right, it came down to a demand zone, broke our resistance, right? Or broke our trend line support resistance. Remove that. Down, double bottom. AMD. So if AMD can get above 138 for POC, we got the 140s, and then there we go. So there is a move on AMD. Hold on one second. There we go. This is what I wanted to look at. All right. We're currently resting right at the daily bottom. If we can break 135. I like 137. Right, 137, 138, 139. One second here. All right, so this is what I want to look at for AMD. I'm going to go with the 140 calls on AMD. All right, it's holding previous Fibonacci level pretty decently, right? We're fighting to get back up into stack moving averages. We held VWAP. We've got above the 50. We want to rally up to the 200 and then finally up to this 139.50. So I'm going to grab the 140s for this week, right? So this is the options chart for AMD. That's 140s for this week. I'm going to look and I want to put in a buy order in approximately, let's see what Fibonacci has to say. So previous, I mean, it was down to 140 at one point, $1.40, right? So if we did a fib, from high to low, maybe it's, is it that low or is it all the way down here? One second. All right, so from a fib perspective, I'm going to look at these AMD 140s for this week, try to get them down here at this 123 extension, right around the anywhere from about 60 to 85 cents, right? Can I do... Look at that. Can y'all see that? Oh, you can't, can you? Crap. All right, AMD 140s looking to get in around 60 to 85 cents. Exits at 354, 5, 6, and 7. So once again, that's... I thought I could make it bigger. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at there. All right, that's your freebie. Okay, I'm gonna give you one freebie a week, and if it hits, then you know what to do, right? There's your one freebie of a week. If those hits, I expect to see you in the Beast Numbers room. Straight up. Okay, moving on. Okay, let's get into it. All right, let's look at... All right, thanks, D. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. All right, let's get into some plays real quick. And then... Hey, Are you all right, Johnny? I got you. Verizon and Amd, right? We're good. Okay. Hey, D-Ray, if you have a stock ticker that you're interested in looking at from the algorithm perspective, please let me know in the chat, and I will try to get to it as soon as possible. Okay. I'm gonna run through these real quick for Laz. Zoom is another one that I've got kind of an interest in as well. Right, just this is a monster move that it made here. And it's got, right, the algo's just dragging it up. Look at all those block trades on Uber. It's crazy. This is the last. Maybe not. All right, so Uber block trades are there. The trade desk. So is this a head and shoulders or an inverse head and shoulders? I'm not sure. This thing can move. I know that it had some pretty good earnings and started to move to the upside. I've never traded it, so I don't know how it moves. But when I've seen it moved really well. Is this a reversal? Could very well possibly be. Looks like we got a double bottom here, right? Or we've got a head and shoulders here, right? So one of the two. I think we might got that double bottom. So I'd be interested. So rally, gap fill, pullback, failed Wu-Tang, trying for another one. So above that level on TTD, played this zone up to here, right? Play the zone from here to here, and then above this, we can get kind of woody with it. All right, the trade desk, what do we got going on here? Jeez. I don't even want to see that. That's way too many drawings. Let's see, remove drawing set. There we go. Yes, that's fine. I'll redraw it if I need to. All right, what do we got going on here? So red and yellow 10x bars indicate a move to the downside. This 4 hour, we pulled back, broke above the 50, couldn't maintain it, came back down, double tapped the 200 SMA at 84, rallied up, couldn't get above the 50, came back down, double tapped the 200 SMA. So Radiant Fire is getting ready to set up. We want to revert to the mean, which is the top of the ATR, for TTD is about $6, right? It can move $6 up or $6 down. So it would be the move back from one ATR to the mean at 96, right? That would require a break above 92.73. I think we see a move up to possibly 100, right? So if we can crack the zone here, let's do this. This is probably a better way to do it. Right, so above that, I think we get a move to here. Definitely a zone. I want to play the zone. How am I doing on time? Doing all right. Do you see that? I know it's really hard to see on these charts. Forgot I can do this. I forgot I can do this. All right, so there's that move, right? I want to see price action rally up above the 200, above the 21 and the 34. Get into previous lows, right? This doji right here, this is a supply zone. Rally up into the supply zone. Last time it couldn't get through it, right? Which there's a bunch of previous resistance way back here that's causing some grief. Like, let's extend this trend line. Let's bring this all the way back here. Right, so long-term support resistance broke. We came back down, rallied back up, couldn't get through it. Came back down, up, down, up. Try to get through it one more time. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got looks like a 3-day and 4-day Green 10x bar, good beta. Market maker moves about 350. No squeezes to help us out, so it's going to be all momentum. We could just as easily chop here for the next couple of days. This ready aim fire, it needs time to set up. I think we might be a little bit early on it last. I would say above 93.71. I would look at playing it then. Until then, I think there's better there's better things to spend our time and money on. Okay. Looking at going back to the algorithm, looking at this Uber move. Uber's been just beast moding. It's coming up into previous resistance. It's going to hit the top of a previous supply zone, and if it gets wrecked there, it wouldn't surprise me if it retraces a little bit. Okay, we've got some dark pools that are providing support and resistance. We're just going to go ahead and call this a zone from 39.68 up to about 30. Let's just call it 40. Right, so there's our support resistance for the Ubers. I don't know what I just did. My bad. Hopefully you got to look at it. Let's see if I can look at Uber on the daily. What did I say? Up, down, up. Well, it went up, down, up. I missed the third wave. This is the third. Okay. So Wu-Tang reversal setting up for sure. Slingshot squeeze getting ready to come up. We got a ready and fire getting ready to fire off. Uber. Yeah, this is pretty good. So coming off of a fire line, like I said, if we can break above, for Uber, break above 40, we hit 43. Mid compression squeeze, double yellow. And just you need to be wary of that. Be wary of the double yellow, which means chop. Okay. Like I said, Uber's got this 200 SMA. You know me, I don't want to trade until we get above that level there. So above 40, we come back up to this previous demand zone, right here. That runs from 41 to 43, excuse me, supply zone. This is a good move. Don't get me wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just have to get above that 200 SMA on Uber. Did you guys screenshot that? It's got so much room. Dude, it's just got so much room. Got to get above that level there. So Uber above 40, I think we can come up to 40. $42. Y'all see this? Oh, let's just do this. Let's do this, shall we? So let's go from lows to the high. And what did it do? So Uber rally, hit psychological resistance, pulled right back to the 618 retracement. It's trying to move up. We've got stack positive moving averages, 821.34. Right, we got to get above this 50 to come back up. So there is a move from 38 to 40. Above 40, we move up to 42 on the Ubers. What do we got going on here? All right, so we fell off. We broke previous support. We came down to the 3750 level. We're fighting back up through this channel, right? We've got a buy signal on the daily, 4-day, 3-minute, and 2-minute. I like this 4-day squeeze. I like this 4-hour squeeze. If we can get those histograms to turn light blue, right? We get a nice 1, 2, 3 bar play. Look at this. This is a slingshot squeeze release, right? Slingshot where the histogram goes from red to yellow, consolidates, compresses, and finally releases. We get an explosive move to the upside. There is a ton of things that I don't want to get rid of. Let's get rid of the fibs. I think that cleans it up a little bit. We'll save this sucker as zones. which I'm going to be doing a lot more of lately. So just be ready for those. All right, and then we go back to default, and we can clear. Come on, clear, 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 clear. There we go. Move. There we go. All right, so we're currently trading a little bit above the mean. Ready and fire signal fired off last week, right? We didn't catch that move. Maybe a little pullback, right? Just a little bit of a pullback to the 21 EMA, which is also the 34 EMA at this level here, which is 38. 3887. Dang, I can't get it to print to the right. All right, so maybe a little pullback to 3875, which we did pre-market, right? We did that pre-market pullback to there. I like it. I like Uber above 40. Above 40 to 43 on Uber. This Uber. As far as strike selection goes, if we looked at this week's 43s, those are 18 cents. Not a ton of... Where's my open interest? The 40s are about $1. They've obviously got the most open interest and the highest delta. They're 46 delta. For Lotto, let's look at the... Let's look at the 4250s for 25 cents. Or the 42s on Uber. If Uber gets a pullback, look at those 42s for about a quarter. Yeah, I like those. Okay. All right, what's next? What is LWLG? I've not heard of this stock before. Okay. So LWLG, D-Ray. The Algo is trading with price action. See how they're moving together? There's not like this separation of divergence. So as long as the Algo can continue to make higher highs and higher lows, I think price action will continue to move up with it. What I do like here is I like that the Algo is kind of made a little bit of a channel that it's trading within. Right? It did hit some previous resistance here, so if it bounces here, it can pull price action up with it. I do like... so, hold on, let me do this. We have a dark pool level at 1780 or 1779. That's this level here. That's also a neckline if this is a head and shoulders that is formed. Right? I don't know if you can see this. This could be the left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So I would say a break at 1779, and we have to look at the downside move, LWLG, light wave logic. Looking at the 2-hour chart, going into the close, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just completed its 5th wave. Nice little reversal doji, trying to get out of the candle and above the 200 SMA, or excuse me, above the 50 SMA. There we go. Pre-market looks pretty decent, right? Possible inverse head and shoulders setting up here. I like it. If it can get above, currently in this little demand zone. So I play things a little bit more safe than a lot of people do, especially if I'm not super familiar with the stock. But I like this one if you can get above like 18, That is such a tight supply zone. Sorry, it's just a micro supply zone right there. So I'd like to see this kind of a move. Right, we continue to rally up. Right, we break that 1882 high. We hit 19 as resistance. Right, psychological. Whole number. We back test, and then we get a larger move up to the next supply zone top, which is about here. 1966. We back test that, and then we come back up and we try to make the new all-time high. LWLG, I'd have never traded it before. We do have a ready aim fire mid thrust buy signal, or right, which is like it's going to fire off to the upside. Mid compression squeeze. Let's check it out on this one here. This will give us a better idea overall of what the stock is getting ready to do. Lightweight logic, right? We've got nice light blue histograms on the with no squeeze. Let's see. So green 10x bars on the lower end and the upper end, good ADX, held VWAP, good beta, stack positive moving averages. So far, all the boxes are being checked. Okay, this is maybe just a little bit of a pullback. Currently trading. Ooh, that's a move to 16. Let's see. Rally, pullback, rally, pullback. It rallied up, pull back to 21, tried again. It held the 34. Right, we don't have any lower end squeezes that are going to help us out though. But what I do see is if it can hold 1665 or 17, I think there's a move up to 20. Right, there's definitely a range there. That's for sure. Above 20, right? Then it's freedom back, and I think it can make a larger move to the upside. It's got a $1.73 ATR. Yeah, 17 is support, and above. Sorry, above 1825, I think. All right, so we did that pre-market. Above 19 to 21, right? And so it's taken out this level here. See this doji this doji right here? That's your old supply zone that's become a resistance demand zone. All right, moving on. I gotta get a couple more of these in real quick. Morning, Ludwig. Okay. All right, so we went over AMD, right? We went over AMD. Let's look at Facebook, Google, and Tesla. So Elon Musk came out and said he's going to pay over $10 billion in taxes. Thanks, buddy. Let's check in on what they're doing this morning. I can't use that one, can I? I'm going to use this guy. All right, nice little fade on Facebook down to the 4-hour top. There is a demand zone that Facebook's trying to get back into. So for me, above 330 on Facebook for a move to 335 and then eventually 340. We've got slingshot squeeze getting ready to fire off, right? Pretty decent support level. Daily ATR of about 13. MACD is neutral but increasing. We had that fade. Is like I said, we got to hold this support level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move up to the mid. Let's look at yeah, so Facebook's kind of doing the same thing, trying to crawl back up off of that massive drop. It's above the 200, so we've got stack positive moving averages 821.34. Facebook does have the 200 SMA on the 5-minute at 332, the 200 SMA on the 15-minute at 335. It's got a little bit more work to fill this gap that was created, so there is a little bit of work that Facebook's going to have to do. I would target the 50 at 332, 333. I'm going to put those 340s on watch as well. So we've got a 250 SMA squeeze getting ready. That got two moving averages squeezing together, and it's going to pop out one side or the other. If it fires off to the long side, right, those 340s will be pretty easy to hit. If contrarian, if it fires off to the short side, so if it breaks basically 331.35, then we test 324 and potentially gap fill down here in 320s, right? Currently trading barely above the 21 EMA or 21 SMA at 330. The 21 SMA is 330. We did hold VWAP. We're kind of overextended. We don't have any green 10x bars to help us launch to the upside. We're starting to get some of these little micro squeezes getting ready to fire off. This 2-day squeeze fires off on Facebook and things can get super fun. Okay. As far as range goes, I think we can get up to, I like those 340s, like I said. That's only one ATR above the mean, right? And we close down to on a low, right? So rally, pull back, rally. Those Facebook 340s for this week are all right, they closed at 310, right? If everything holds up on Facebook, let's look at these ones. There we go. I like this a little better. Yeah, I like these ones a lot better. All right, so all right, so Facebook, I like the 345s at about 50 cents, 50 to 75 cents, 50 to 70 cents, right? And that's for this week's 245s, Facebook 245s this week. All right, so what did I say? I want the Facebook 245 call at 50 to 70 cents. I also like the AMDs. AMD 140s. At 60 cents. And then maybe the AMD, depends on how it moves. The AMD 150s at 25 cents. All right. Oh, Facebook's got to do its job, though. I don't have a 4-hour chart. Facebook is holding VWAP, right? You can see that part of it, right? So the last time Facebook was at this level, above 330, it launched, right? Up to resistance at 335. Above 335, we hit resistance at 337. Nice easy move up to 341. I've got the 4-hour, I've got the daily Keltner channel top at 340, 346. So that would be the monthly, that would be the daily mid to daily top move. Daily mid to daily top on Facebook. Right. I show what that looks like here. So this is a Facebook daily mid. Right. Color code our stuff around here so we know what's up. So there's the daily mid. So there's the daily mid. We want to move to the daily top, right? 345s. Let's go. It's got to get over the 4-hour, right, at 335. If it can do that, that's a pretty easy move. Facebook moves about $12 a day. All right. Okay. I think, what else do we got? Tesla. All right. So Elon's done selling shares, I believe. We've got lots of overhead resistance, lots of lots of support, 4-hour support. Trying to get back up into the daily cloud, 930. 4-hour mids at 945. Daily cloud tops at 957, and then there's this zone up here. I think Tesla's at a pretty decent level, and as long as this 4-hour cloud doesn't break or it makes a new low, I think we might be in a good position for Tesseract. Slingshot squeeze, slingshot squeeze. $80 to $70 ATR. The Algo ripped, pulled back, looking for that move to the upside. A little bit of a triangle breakout. I think we're good to go. All right. I think that's it for now. Everything else, hold on. Let's look at Google. I went over this earlier. Google's right now at the daily Keltner channel bottom, holding support. If that level holds, then I think we get a move back up to the weekly mid, to 2850. And then 2900, 2950. Contrarian, if that level breaks, and we come and test 2760. Below that, we have a move all the way back down to 2657. So there's a big downside move on Google, but I think it's set up from this type of perspective. I mean, it's red. It's really bloody, to be honest with you. This 4-hour 200 SMA at 2800 is our support line. If that breaks, right, things can get real ugly real quick. All the way down to 2720. So we could just real quick drop. Well, we hit that this morning, didn't we? What is that, 2801? Yeah, it's at 2800 right now. So we're currently resting on the 200 SMA. I'm going to look at the options chain for Google because I think that I know you guys nobody can see this, but I'm still here. Just give me 1 second. I want to look at... I'm looking at some numbers, and then I got to run. Oh, my God, it's so late. All right, so those Google... The Google 2950s are going to be valued at about $4. Okay. And that puts... We're at 2,800 right now. Is that right? Is that what I said? Currently trading at 2,800. I want to keep an eye on Google. If it holds that support, then I'm going to try to get into the 2950s for about $3. Okay. All right. I do have to run now. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dark Algo. I'm here every morning, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you're new to the stream, go ahead and hit the like button. Come on, let's get those likes up. Subscribe, turn on notifications anytime we put out a new video. You'll be the first to know about it. So again, looking at AMD 140s for about 60 cents, Facebook 245s for about 50 to 70 cents per contract. Lotto, maybe AMD 150s at 25 cents per contract. That's it for me. Thanks for joining me. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye. If you're in the Discord group,